Hello, in this video I'm gonna demonstrate how we are going to use the new sensitive scope for our Maxima CRM for GSuite Add-on. So firstly I'm gonna introduce some basic information of our add-on. So in this page it lists some basic information of our add-ons. Since this is not the first round of the security review of our add-on, actually, we already got approved the security review for the Gmail functionality, and now we are going to publish a new version of add-on for the Google Calendar. So I'm not going to repeat the scope for Gmail again. I'm going to focus on the new scope, which is developed for Google Calendar. Okay. So first of all, let's go through the credentials first. So as you see in this page, we have this client, that's OS2 client for our add-on. And for this two, it's automatically generated by the system, which is used for the GSuite add-on and the script. And we don't use any client ID secret in our program. For these two, we only use the top one, which is for calendar. Okay, so now back to the scope screen. Okay, so these are all the sensitive scopes for our GSuite add-on, and for the top two, it's already got verified because these two are for Gmail. And for these three, it's not verified because these are for the Google Calendar. So I'm gonna focus on these three scopes. First of all, I'm gonna introduce this one, the calendar.read-only scope. It sees and downloads any calendar that you can access using your Google Calendar. Okay, so the reason why we need this scope is, okay, let's go to the Google Calendar. So this is the Google Calendar of my account, and this is the Maxima CRM add-on. Okay. Okay, so the functionality of this add-on is we sync the events from the customer's particular calendar to the maximizer calendar. So these are the events I created in the Google Calendar, and we will use the add-on and our sync service to sync them to the maximizer calendar. So these are the maximizer calendar, and these are the events synced from Google. And before the sync happens, user needs to go to this add-on and set up some preference from here. So in the calendar settings, it displays all the available calendars for this particular Google Calendar account, which is similar to this section. So in our business logic, user can select up to 5 calendars, and the events of these calendars will be synced to maximize the calendar. But I believe in like 90% of the cases, user only use his primary calendars. So usually our customer would just select one calendar from here and save settings. Okay, so the events selected by the events of the calendar selected by the customer will be synced to maximizer. So that's the reason why we need this scope, because we need to see and download the calendar that you can access using your Google Calendar. Okay, so the next scope I'm going to introduce is this one, which is the calendar.events.read-only. The reason why we need this scope is after user set up the preference in this add-on, the sync service, which is a background service, reads the events of the calendar from Google's account and sync them to Maximize. So that's the reason why the sync service needs to read the events from the calendar, and that's the reason why we need this scope. Okay. And the last one is contact.read-only. The reason why we need this scope for Google Contact is, for example, if I create a event here, you can invite some people to your event, right? And in our business logic, the sync service tries to match the attendee here to the contacts in Maximizer's address book. Okay, but in the on the Maximizer side, there could be some multiple contacts which has the same email address. So that would be like a one-to-many mapping. And in that case, we are going to search search the customer's Google's contacts with their email address. And if we found there is a Google contact, match this email address, and we will get his first name and last name, and trying to match the name with the Maximizer contacts. So for example, if we have two Maximizer contacts with the same email address here, and only one of them matches the name, the first name and the last name in the Google contact, we will match this contact, the attendee, to that Maximizer address book contact. So that's the reason why we need the sync service needs to search for Google contacts and match them to the Maximizer address book contact. And that's the reason why we need this scope. Okay, so I think I already introduced all these three sensitive scope and demonstrated how we are going to use with our add-on. Should you have any question, feel free to contact us. Thank you very much.